to the channel, welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is, you already know what it was, and you already know what it will be. Channel, we talk about like a lot of different things, but we usually just talk about like, you know, relevant stuff. So right now this guy 1090 Jake is like being brought up in the news a lot, and like if I'm hearing about it, it's popular because bitch, I don't be hearing about nothing unless it's relevant. Okay, so I just thought, you know, obviously I looked into it because this shit is interesting. I'm like, what the fuck? Everyone's saying this guy's a snitch, this and that. I'm like, who is this guy? So apparently he has a YouTube channel, and why this guy's famous or like popping right now and in the media is because he has a YouTube channel. It has like 900,000 subscribers. I've probably even seen one of his videos before. Like, I never heard about this guy before, but when they started talking about him, like, oh, he's a snitch, this and that, I was like, okay, who is he? I go to his YouTube channel, right? And he does like, what kind of videos is he does is like he was in the prison system for like 36 months. So he takes like rappers, like he did like videos on like, you know, he told prison stories. It was like a prison story time channel. He told prison stories, he told his story, and now he tells other prison stories, and he does it from experience because he's been behind bars, so he kind of knows how it is. So it's like someone telling the story that knows how the system is. And then he started, you know, doing rappers cases and stuff, and it's just interesting because he kind of knows a lot about jail. And then he more so exposes like, you know, people snitching and stuff, and like he, you know, pulls out court documents and like who said what, who said this and stuff. And then also he like looks at interrogation videos and is kind of like, you know, being like, did they snitch, did they not, you know? So he kind of became like, you know, people are looking at his channel, it's getting a lot of views, it's like really popping. He got popping really fast, and people are kind of like, well, is he the stamp to say if it's snitching or not? Like, is it snitching when like he's gonna be the one to kind of clear the air if it's snitching. Okay, we're gonna just talk about why he's being talked about right now, why he's relevant, and kind of go into what people are saying about him, and y'all can decide your opinion or not.
Yeah, so for me, you're the new villain, and I'm like, I'm still hated because I still do shit that people I guess don't like, but you got all the street niggas either wanting to appease you, be best friends with you, or want to kill you.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about it, I was like, I'm pretty sure some of these street niggas is like, yo, if we get this motherfucker out of the way.
Well, I think it's too far past for that, because now it's opened the door to where mad people are doing what I'm doing. So it's like shit's gonna get out either way. Now it's just when I react to it is when the official stamp comes. But even now, me being out the way isn't gonna stop the shit.
I remember telling people that years ago. They used to say when they thought hip hop coverage was changing, they're like, well, why? So like, yo, why don't y'all just cover the music? Why you gotta cover the fact that niggas got shot behind that in O Block? And I'm like, well, they're rapping. That's what they're rapping about.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, so we're just giving more context. It's not, if they were rapping about like fairies and Dungeons and Dragons, we'd be like, okay, this is fictional.
Yeah.
But if they're rapping about literally naming shit, but I remember people said, you know what? I'm bad for the culture. They call me a cancer. They said, when I'm out of here, it'll go back to normal. I saw just how content was happening. And let's be honest, you know this is a fact. People want to hear the real. The majority of fans, they're not just surface level fans saying, oh, should have ducked just sounds amazing. They're breaking it line by line. Shout out to Genius for that. They're going line by line. They're like, oh shit, this is a subliminal here. Oh shit, computer murders. He said anybody that go by the mural. They're all into it. And that's why I knew after me, the game will never be the same. I'm like, there's always gonna be more. And you brought it to a whole different level because the paperwork thing fucked the whole game up.
Yeah.
Basically, this guy literally goes a step farther and he gets the paperwork and he reads the paperwork for everybody. He really does like a good job researching and like seeing like, you know, all the details of the cases and everything when he's telling the story, which is great. I mean, good, you know, it's good. But yeah, people like some of the rappers obviously are the people that are in these videos that are getting like many like huge views. They don't like it that they're being like looked at closely, because literally what happens is, you guys, when these high profile cases get put online, sometimes they get reopened or cops look more intense into it because like lots of people are seeing it. So basically, like, you know, when it's like a, let's say a serial killer documentary or something like that, and they haven't been found yet, and then someone makes a whole video of like these cases that aren't shut yet and they're still open. Sometimes when a lot of media gets on them, the media and like people are persuading the police, like, look, open this case, like the people care about this case, we're looking, everyone's trying to get details on it. So they reopen a lot of cold cases just because it's popular. That's how it works. So obviously people that are like in the rap industry or like doing these like gang related shit doesn't want eyes on them, so that's why they don't really like this guy, because he is, you know, taking the case and putting it on a microscope to look deeper and have everybody else kind of look into it, because he's saying like, this is the paperwork, you guys, and everybody can find it. Anybody can get this paperwork. He shows you how to get the paperwork. You can just literally go look it up. So it's eyes on them. Obviously people wouldn't want that if they're in, you know, not trying to be in the eyes of the law, right? Here is how he's going to talk about how he first started up. So basically he, you know, obviously did time. He served a lot of time, and then he got off, and basically was like, he saw an interview and like this guy was talking about like the prison system and how he was in it, and he was like, his stories aren't even good. I have way more stories than that. So he decided to go on the podcast. He hit him up and asked to go on the podcast and then tell his stories. And then shit went viral. Like, shit went good. So he already had, like, he didn't even have a platform. He just told his story. And then people were fucking with how he was telling stories because he's been in jail, right? All you do is tell stories. So then people were like, yo, your stories are so good, you need to make a YouTube channel. Like, they want more. So he did a podcast, and basically people want more. So before he even started the podcast, you guys, he already had 500 subs, and he didn't even drop a video yet because people wanted to see his content before he even started making it.
Shit went platinum and started going crazy. So people are like, yo, start a YouTube channel. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I tried it. When I popped the channel off, I was just telling my stories. You know, prison stories, and from day one, like the type of shit that I went through, what happened in there. Then people started like, oh, I don't really know if his stories are real. I don't know if I believe it. Then I started interviewing people I was in prison with. So it's like I started bringing, you know, some of the people that's in the other room right now, I was in prison with. So I started bringing them on. They stamping the story like, yeah, this is how it happened, da-da-da-da-da. That progressed into, I started covering criminal cases. Because the prison genre, there's only so much you can talk about.
By the way, you had some entertaining stories. You told a few on Fresh and Fit. A lot of the reason why I was able to succeed as a content creator was the way I delivered shit, my oration, my what they call it, diction, and you know, just the way, like, I wanted to always sound like a broadcaster, but I kind of was trying to mix it with like, yo, you know, like I'm still a nigga, you get what I mean? But I want to deliver it right. What set you apart from a lot of people, you had a really great, concise delivery. And I don't know if you knew you may have had a talent for that, because when I first started, I used to stutter a little bit. I used to start like first, like a lot. Like I was like Flacco 3.0. But I realized, I was like, if you want to succeed in this, you just got to whatever. And one thing about you, when I'm watching your videos, like, rather than go read 15 articles, watching you for 3 minutes, I'm like, I already got the whole thing.
I'm gonna have it put together for
Way
you.
more detail. You're explaining this, you're breaking it down.
Yeah, the reason why AK really fucks with those guys, because they make very similar content. They do very similar content because it's about, like, you know, he kind of switched over to the rap industry, so he does like rappers and stuff in their cases and everything. So he can talk about like the fact that Tory's going to jail for like 10 years. Like, he knows the inside and behind, but Academics doesn't. He's never went to jail. He doesn't claim to be like, you know, a street nigga. Like, he, you know, they don't claim it. By the way, I'm mixed, y'all, so don't come for me. I look hella white, but I can say it like relax. Just have to clarify that because I know somebody's gonna comment on that. But yeah, he doesn't claim to be a street nigga. He's like, like, I'm not a street nigga. Like, I snitch. I would snitch if somebody tries me. I'm snitching. That's how he is. But this guy's been in the prison system, right? So he does abide kind of by like he believes in the no snitching. He doesn't fuck with 6ix9ine. He's very open about that. So like when you say you're one thing, you kind of have to abide by that. AK is like, I like 6ix9ine. He's the bestie. I'm a snitch too. Like I would snitch like this and that. I'm not a street nigga. I'm a good civilian, right? So people don't come for him for snitching. But if you are living by that no snitch rule and you're calling other people out for snitching, then you have to abide by what you say you are, right? Right.
It's on. Like, that shit was real deal.
I don't think Tory gonna go through that. You think so?
He's in California State Prison, bro. That shit.
I be hearing about it. Like, you gotta almost.
They got different type of politics, but if he's not PC, if he's GP, if something pops, he's obligated to act on that on behalf of his race. So
No, you got to break this down. Like,
he's not gonna have a choice. He's
and
black.
by the way,
if he's in general population, he gotta.
This is why you're great. It's like for people like me, and there's so many people like me. I always tell people, I'm like, yo, listen. They used to come to me for the gangsters, like opinion. And I'm like, no, academics is only academics. Okay, if you want to call it nerdy, just regular dude, I'm that guy. You got to go find some other person who could give you like a prison insight, the gangster insight. Like, oh, okay, this is what it's like. I can't do that. When I'm listening to you talk about that shit, I'm like, damn, it's vivid though. So you're thinking that, okay, so Tory's locked. Okay, he just got sentenced. He's a celebrity though, and I'm gonna use my little privilege. I'm like, all right, if I'm him, I'm saying I don't want to be near none of these niggas. I don't want them try to jump me, extort me, like steal my fucking cookies, my little fucking cornbread. Like, I'm good.
What are you gonna do then? You gonna go PC?
Yeah, well, I'm a celebrity. I'm telling them, I'm a high profile nigga.
This is the thing about PC though in California State Prison. You have GP and PC. PC are the sex offenders, the snitches, the gang dropouts. They have no politics. It's not that they're not gangster. They just couldn't abide by the politics of general population. So you're going over there with the gay dudes, the booty bandits. Somebody's gonna try Tory on some crazy shit. Nobody's gonna try him in GP on some gay shit like the prison rape.
Yeah.
Cause it's GP. But in PC, all that shit's going down.
I thought in protective custody, like, you just don't see anyone.
See, this is the thing, is it's different in every single state and then state and federal. Federal, there is no PC, so you just stay in confinement. That's what Kodak was in, was confinement.
Okay.
Florida, there's no PC. There's PM, protective management. You just stay in confinement. You don't get out. And you can only be celled with someone who's also on protective management.
Could you pick though, like yo, bro, this guy's like gay as shit. Like, I want to be in the cell with him. Like,
well, there's actually it's the opposite. Motherfuckers will try to get gay people in their cell.
Why?
So they can be gay.
Stop it.
You doing 100 and something days in confinement? Yeah, they do that type of shit.
I've always said like, yo, maybe it just wasn't in my DNA to be a gangster. Cause like, imagine a nigga in my cell, like, yo, if you gotta take a shit, like you tell that nigga like, yo, knock on the door and ask the guard to leave. Cause I take a shit for a straight hour in the dark. I mean, sometimes I don't even pull the pants down, I'll just take it off.
I mean, bro, there'd be situations where people just find that they can't live with it. It could be you snore too much.
I definitely snore.
So your bunkie just pulls you off the bunk and beats the shit out of you while the guard's walking around, and then they separate you. They move you out the cell.
They just beat you up.
Yeah, yo, all right. When Trayvon Martin got killed,
yeah,
black dude in Florida State Prison, he had a white bunkie. Told the white bunkie, you need to get out right now. CO came around. He begged the CO to take him out. He didn't do it. CO came around and do another round for count. Begged the CO, take me out. He didn't do it. The dude he was in the cell with was like 6'4". Beat him, knocked him out, jumped off the top bunk onto his head until his head just like a watermelon and killed him.
Really?
Yeah.
You just see how interesting this guy is just by the stories and just how the information he has that he can talk about is so crazy. Like the fact that he is a good storyteller, he delivers it well, and he knows all the facts and stuff about prison. That's why a lot of people try and call him out on his bullshit. Like people are saying, oh, his stories aren't true, this and that. But like, it's just like he's really good at, telling them, you guys, and he obviously knows stuff. Like he obviously knows some stuff, right? I mean, only he would really know if it's true or not. Like we can't know, but like it's interesting as fuck, right? And he seems like he knows what he's talking about. But yeah, so he got out of jail at 2015, but he didn't start the YouTube and everything until 2019. So it's like 2021, 22, 23, like 4 years. So he grew really quick. Like AK, it took him like 12 years to be where he's at now. So like, um I just like hearing different stories. You guys know how people come up to you, because like everybody has their own timing, and you know, even if you've been going at something for like a decade, let's say 10 years straight, it's still not over. Like AK didn't give up. He took him 12 years and now he's doing what he loves, which I love. Like I love that it was a long process, but he got there. This guy started in 2019, 4 years, he had a really fast upcoming. But you know what? They're both sitting down with each other, respecting each other. He respects AK, looked up to him. Like, is glad that he's having him on his platform, even though he came up with so quick, like the quick. It's just like, it's not about like the timing on how long it took you to get there. It's about the fact that you're gonna get there. Like, I love that. But anyway, and now he's gonna talk about the come up a little bit, and how he's doing stuff that not a lot of people are doing. Like, people really like stuff that not a lot of people are doing, because your content's unique and it's not very wasn't very usual for like street dudes to be talking about stuff online. Why? Because like, there's a balance there, right? Because they can't be snitching, they don't want to give out too much information. It's heat. You have to be out of the game, out of the streets, to really be online like that. Because that's why all these rappers are getting caught up, is because they're still in the streets, but they're high profile. You can't be in the streets and be high profile. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? You can't have both, because you're gonna have eyes on you.
What year is this?
2019. I got out in 15.
Okay. I think nowadays it's more acceptable for the quote unquote gangsters to get online and talk. Tay Savage got a channel. You see FYBJ Maine. You see all of these guys are now, who have been gangsters, they're now realizing, hey, listen, I mean, I could do it in a way where I'm not snitching, but I'm also kind of like, because people are fascinated with your lifestyle, your story. What made you get into content creation?
It was all accidental, bro. It was just, I did that one interview. Mm-hmm. People were like, yo, start a channel. I started it, and then all of a sudden...
What's your financial situation at that time?
Fucking... I mean, it wasn't too bad. I was a manager at a smoke shop when I started doing... I got fired. Yeah, so, I didn't have any money. I wasn't making shit. I got fired at that time.
Damn.
Yeah. So, before that, though, I was making $15 an hour and, like, doing this shit, like, selling weed and shit like that.
$15 an hour selling weed?
$15 an hour at the smoke shop.
Oh, okay.
But I was selling weed out of the smoke shop.
Oh, okay. So
that's why I really love YouTube. Like, I really love YouTube, because YouTube and just being online, you can turn, like, anything into money, like any subject, because YouTube's just not one subject. There's cooking channels, there's vlog channels, there's prison story channels. There's such a different variety, and like whatever you're good at, like whether it be fitness, this and that, you can make money from it if you're passionate about it, to like take your knowledge and put it online. Anything, any subject, as long as there's people there to watch, you can make money, which I love. And you can literally start off from nothing. I just even though like I don't really relate to this guy, I have nothing in common with this guy, it's just like his stories are so interesting. Like, I went to go look at his channel, I was like, his videos are really good and interesting. Like, you can see why people would fuck with him. He gets like millions of views, like hundreds of thousands of views on every video. It's not just like one, because his stuff is so interesting, and he took like what he had a passion for, which is like gang banging, and made a career out of it, like made money off of it, which I just love. Like, I love that people can be creative with the platform and just like turn it into something huge. Like, you just have to have the vision for it. He sat down with nothing. People are telling him to make a channel, and like, he had $15 an hour, you guys. That's what I'm saying. I like, doesn't matter what age too. Like, doesn't matter what age. Like, it's never too late. Like, your time will come when your time comes, and when you buckle down and really put effort into something that you love doing, it will pay off. Doesn't matter if it's 12 years from now, it doesn't matter if it's 4 years. Like, if you pick something that you love and you want to do and you want to do it, you will. There's no way you cannot do it as long as you stick to that one thing and you don't give up with it. Because like, if you just, it's either that one thing or you die, then it's like that's all you're gonna be doing in life. You can't shift your focus, which I love. Like, I think his story is so inspiring.
And then I just started dropping videos, and them shit just started booming. Like, I hit 25,000 subscribers. I forget how fast it was. It was so fast, people were complaining.
They thought
Like other people in the prison genre were like, yo, what the fuck is he, like, how is it? It was just going crazy. So my first check from YouTube was like $800. And then the next one was a couple thousand.
Yeah.
Now once I seen that, I was like, get the fuck out of here. This shit makes money. Experience that shit. They're the ones that are intrigued by it. And then you also have the people that have gone through it, relate to it. And then you got the haters too.
So you started doing that, but at a point, it seems to pivot within the hip hop sphere. Yeah. When is that?
So I covered a case out of Florida of 2 rappers from Palm Beach that probably had 1,500 videos or 1,500 views. That was their biggest music video. But they were
so you weren't covering them like, oh, they're hot rappers. You're just like, nah, they happen to be rappers.
This is the thing, right? They happen to be a rapper. They shot a white bitch inside of a 7-Eleven because they were robbing the 7-Eleven, and Karen tried to intervene, and they shot her in the face and killed her. I put rapper in the title, and the views went crazy. So it was just that little thing that I noticed. I put rapper, and that's when I was like, what if I start looking into rappers' paperwork? And it wasn't on snitching. It was just, I'm bringing you the story of what took place, where I'm getting the details on, there was 3 shell casings at the scene. The bullet entered his left lung and exited his back. And I'm getting the details that aren't in the news. You know, you just heard, oh, he got shot, but I'm giving you the rawest form of the details. That's what I wanted to do, was to get all the facts.
Yeah, you guys, that's why his content is so unique, because, you know, he's really going into depth and he does a lot of research with it. So he looks at the paperwork and he goes into depth on like stuff that's technically the police already know. This is what the police already know, but they just don't put it out to the public because they don't put all those details out there. When they send, like, when they put it on the news or the videos and whatever, they don't put all the facts. They don't put every little detail of the paperwork. This guy reads it, goes through it, and he's been in the prison system, so he kind of understands it, and he has hella stories. Like, again, like, even just the fact when he's telling stories, it's the fact that he can relate to it is so interesting.
That sent me the razor. So my bro sign language and me like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut him when I get out.
What do you mean sign language?
Sign language.
Like how?
Like we do sign language.
Like
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
But how you say cut that motherfucker?
Cut that.
Nah,
dude, yeah.
Nah, that's bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is really.
Yeah. Yeah, shoot the razor. Shoot it over here. I'm gonna cut him. Yeah. Shoot the razor. Bop. Got him.
You're not trolling me, all right?
Nah. The same kid I cut. Listen, bro that's over in the next room, that same kid I cut, he stabbed him.
So since this guy looks into people's paperwork and puts like high profile cases up online, obviously people are seeing them, obviously people are talking about them. So a lot of the times the people that are in the stories, or like know the people that are in the stories, are like, that know what happened, are watching. It's like, it didn't go down like that, like this and that, because they know the real tea, right? But he's only looking at it from like the police perspective, so he's only telling what the police know. But a lot of times people are like dumb and will hit him up and be like, no bro, it didn't really go like that, like stop making him look bad, like it actually went like this, or like I actually had way more guns on me, but like I got rid of 2. Like they hit him up to like get the story right. But it's like, bro, how would he know that? So a lot of times it's like people hit him up to be like, to try and give him the facts, but it's like he can only say what's on the paperwork, or else it would be like technically they're snitching on themselves. Like, do they not realize they're hitting up to snitch on themselves? Because how would bro know that, right? Like, he can't just like throw in extra shit. He has to go off what the paperwork says, which is what the police know. So why would he, you know, hit up these guys and ask them for the real tea? Then it would be snitching. Like, then it would be real snitching. So it's just like funny. So that people don't understand that.
But this is how dumb people are, though. They'll hit me up and like correct me. Like, yo, bro, no, it wasn't one gun. I really had 3 guns, but I threw the other 2. Why are you telling me that? Because I can't go and. Why do you want me to know shit the police don't know?
That's what a nigga did with. I covered K Flock's case. Mm-hmm. He killed a guy.
Yeah.
The cousin of the guy he killed hit me up mad. He's like, yo, bro, I don't like how you're making him seem like my cousin a bitch. Tell a story straight. Is right if you gonna tell it. My cousin really upped it on him first.
Yeah.
I'm like, why on earth
Why
would you hit
that?
up somebody? Now it's changing the entire light of the case, and has now. You know who hit? You know when I said it on YouTube? You know who hit me up? K Flock's lawyer. They're like, is this true? Because in reality, this helps our client.
Yeah, they're gonna use that.
This fucking helps our client.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's how stupid people are. Like, people will hit me up and be like, nah, this is what it is, and this is what, and I'll have to tell them, like, yo, bro, you realize the police don't know what you're saying? And then they're like, oh, nah, you right, bro, you right. So basically, all I was doing was recreating it for the story. And then I started coming across snitches. And that turned into a whole nother fucking dimension with YouTube.
So basically where the controversial shit starts is like he changed it over to snitching. Like he kind of like reported on, you know, people who are snitching, kind of like he'd be like, okay, the paperwork says this, the interviews, he's snitching on this. And then he kind of gave his own opinion whether he thought it was snitching or not. So that's where it kind of shifted to like snitching. So the streets don't play about snitching. That's one thing the streets don't play about, is like that's the #1 rule in the streets is snitching. They do not like snitches. So this is where it gets kind of iffy, because, you know, if you're going to be the staple, the stamp of being able to tell what's snitching, what's not, you have to kind of follow by your own thing too. So this is where it gets kind of interesting.
And people don't even like realize that I'm not the one that actually exposed him. It was already out there.
Yeah, I see. There was this one page on like Instagram. It's called like
News Made It.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Yeah, snapping, putting out everything.
Yo, there's somebody.
I don't know who's behind that, but as far as P, I'm not the one that put it out there. I'm just the one that put a video together. And yeah, I mean, you flat out told your signatures there. People say he wasn't in the streets. Everybody from Atlanta knows he was in the streets. He's up a couple hundred M's. Nobody gives a fuck.
Let me see, who else told or allegedly told in the game? Okay. Interesting situation. The Gucci Man told. I know you're doing that. So some people...
In the self-defense case?
Yeah, some people be like...
You can't snitch in self-defense,
well, some people say your standards, and they've been specifically pointing at you, and other people, especially when Boosie, they're like, y'all standards of not telling and not speaking to the cops is so high that clearing your own name by telling what happened in self-defense.
Let me clear that, because I fucked up by not being specific with that, right? When I said that, I was specifically referring to Boston Richie in a homicide investigator's office speaking on a homicide.
Okay.
I'm not going to say you a snitch if you get pulled over and you talk to the police. How fast were you going? Oh, I'm not saying shit. Fuck the police. No. You can talk. You know what I'm
people
saying?
are taking it extreme like that.
They took it extremely fucking, but maybe that's on me because I didn't clarify. You in a homicide investigation office, bro. You're not really supposed to be saying anything.
Okay, so someone, and obviously, you know, we don't wish this happen. Someone runs into your crib, you legally put him down like a fucking diseased dog, as you should. The police comes and says,
You have to talk
Jake,
to him.
what happened?
He came in my house.
And he says, who came in your house? You pointing at the dead guy?
I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to want to know he's dead, though.
That's a big thing.
Before I start talking.
Why?
Because if he ain't dead, you pretty much snitching, bro. If you pop him and he lives and you tell the police what happened, he's going to go to prison for that shit. That's the fucked up thing about this situation, right? He gotta die.
Nah.
He gotta die.
You know, look at that motherfucker and say, nigga, I spared you hell. You just went to prison.
He gotta die, bro. He gotta die. Unless this shit's on video, I mean, bro, you really gotta let it play out. So if he's breathing,
you're gonna kind of be like...
This is the thing, right? The best.
But you're gonna go to jail at that point.
The best thing you can do is have your lawyer talk for you, right?
No, let's go down
Somebody
this
just got popped in your house. You call 911. Hey, fuck, y'all need to get over here.
Yeah.
They see the situation. Whether they cuff you up or what, you need to talk to the fucking lawyer before you say. Because even if it is self-defense, you could present it in a way that you get convicted of shooting him.
Yeah, there's a lot of politics with snitching, okay, in the, you know, in the street life, okay, because there's different things of different snitching. Some people say like you can't like snitch no matter what, like this and that. Some people say, oh, you can snitch in self-defense, this and that. He's saying like if the guy's dead you can snitch, but if he's alive you can't. Like there's so many different things that different people say snitching. If you're really like street, like, you know, back in the day, like just you don't talk to cops, period. Some say it's snitching if you talk to the cops. Some, like, you know, it's so politics, like it's just crazy. So when you start like you're the one clarifying, like you, if like putting your opinion which you think it's snitching or not, it gets complicated. But whatever you say, people are gonna watch what you declare snitching and then see if you've ever like, if you say talking to the cops, period, it's snitching, but then they find out that you talked to the cops or this and that, but then you're like, oh, well, like, I didn't say this, I didn't name, oh, I lied to the cops, this and that. And this is where it gets kind of iffy, because there's like some rumors where like, you know, shit came out about him and his cases, and you know, people are saying, well, he lied to the cops, like he was talking to them but he lied, like this and that. So we'll get into that. I gotta like look more into that, but that's kind of why his name is being brought up right now, because he's kind of like saying what the definition of snitching is and like calling people out. But then there's shit that's coming out like, is he, like, you gotta abide by what you say. Also, you guys, we have to remember this guy's getting a check, okay? Obviously he's making lots of money from this. Obviously people want to see this content. Like, he's not making this for nothing, he's making money from it. So you're gonna make money from whatever the people want to see. Basically, whichever videos do well is what you're gonna lean towards more. And like that's like with me with my drama videos. My drama videos do very well because people don't like to see like makeup tutorials. They don't want to see doing well. They don't want to see you traveling, this and that. They want to see drama. They want to see mess. They want to, like, you know, be entertained, whatever's gonna entertain them, no matter what it is, right? So you're gonna follow the bag. So like you can't blame this guy for following the bag. I really, like, in my opinion, you can't blame someone for following the bag. If there's money in it, like, you're gonna do it. You would do it too for a check. Like, that's the thing.
If there was no money attached, would you do it?
What?
Would you like be involved in
with the snitching shit?
Yeah, especially around the rapper shit.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, what the fuck I'm doing that for?
That I think you could brand
because I don't want to solely be known for exposing the snitches.
Yeah,
I don't want to just be that, you know.
My thought on your run is that you're probably gonna catch up like maybe 2 or 3 more big fish.
Obviously, he doesn't even want to be known for just like, you know, the fact that he exposes snitches, this and that. But you know, you're gonna go where the bag goes, and obviously that's what's keeping him relevant. That's what's getting him talked about. That's what's making a lot of money, because people are actually reaching out to try and pay him off too. He was saying like people try and, like, you know, here, look, I'll pay you this, like, just don't talk about it. This not, people fear this man, right? Because he's getting a lot of views. They don't want to be talked about, so like that money that way. And he said he wouldn't even take the money, y'all. He'll take the money and he'll still make the video. Like, that's power, right? That's power. When people are reaching out to you, be like, please don't expose me on YouTube, that's power. That's dangerous. So that's why, you know, people probably in the industry, in the game, are like, this man is dangerous. But you know, there's gonna be other channels like that. Everybody, he said, like, you can just get the paperwork online. So anybody with a little phone, I could literally do it. I could literally go, if I had time and could, you know, read all that information, which I can. That's actually really hard to do, like read all that information and understand and like put it on time and effort, y'all. That's crazy. That anybody could do it. So, you know, he opened the door for this whole new genre of like looking deep into the case and everything. But yeah, so now I'm gonna put in some examples of what his YouTube videos is like, because they're actually really good. Like when I went to his channel, I was like, oh my god, like I think I've seen one of these before. It's one of those videos that you think you probably watched and you just didn't even realize it was him. But he covers like high profile cases in the rap industry. So this is one of them where he basically, you know, shows it, and it was like, well, this was in the paperwork, wasn't charged for this and that, so obviously he probably said some stuff that got him out or whatever. So let's look into that. these are his videos.
Permanently in prison for a separate incident, and searching through his criminal cases, it would show he was never charged with any crime relating to this fight/shooting. Ace would say Jeremy was not a part of his side, and his brother Trevon was the one fighting Jeremy for reasons he didn't know. When asked why guns were brought out, Ace would say they started shooting, and this is where the snitch allegations come from.
So why did the guns get brought out? Why did all the shots fired?
They started shooting.
They started shooting.
Yeah, the other boy started shooting.
Well, DeAndre shot because that's very clearly gunshots coming from his hand.
No, gun change it.
DeAndre didn't shoot.
I promise to. I promise. The other boys, they start shooting. Yeah, they start shooting.
Who got stabbed?
The other boy was in the video.
Who's that?
My brother.
Trevon?
No, it's not my real brother. It's his name, John.
John.
Yeah, they stabbed me.
What's he go by?
John.
Julio Fulio would take to Instagram explaining why he believes Youngin Ace snitched.
Explain how he told in the video. You gotta go look at it on YouTube. He said they was fighting Jeremy. He said that them boys shot. The boys, he saying the nigga Jeremy shot. He gave the police the nigga Jeremy name saying they shot. So that's telling, right? Is that telling? I'm just said they was fighting Jeremy. You said them boys were shooting. You said the other boys were shooting, meaning the people on your side weren't shooting. So that means the nigga Jeremy was shooting. That's what you basically saying to the police. Interrogation with the police and they ask you what happened. You say, oh, we was fighting Jeremy them. The police ask you, so where the guns came from? Who started shooting? You said them other boys started shooting, meaning Jeremy them. You told on Jeremy them. You said Jeremy them started shooting. Is that telling?
Now, Fulio said Ace told the detective Jeremy shot, which isn't true. Ace told detectives Jeremy was the one seen on video fighting his brother Trevon. The detective would even say Boosie was the one who started firing, claiming he could see Boosie shooting on video. Ace would deny what the detective was saying about Boosie and say the other boys started shooting. If Jeremy and Trevon can be clearly seen on video fighting, it eliminates both of them as being shooters, so nothing Ace said directly affected Jeremy or implied Jeremy ever fired a gun.
Okay, yeah, so y'all see how he is basically clarifying what's snitching and what's not snitching. So basically he's putting his own 2 cents in and being like, see, he's not snitching, y'all. He's saying he's snitching, but he didn't snitch because of this and this. So A, Y, and Z, right? So people are going to look into you and make sure that you follow your same standards. So I think this is kind of where the controversy kind of comes, and that's why he's getting kind of like called out.
Duval County criminal clerk, you just go on there and type in a name. It brings up every single arrest. When you go into the arrest, brings up the dockets have the arrest affidavit. It literally just tells you everything.
So you just went online, or you actually had to go to
online.
the office?
Everything's online.
So
yeah.
Online, you just looked it up.
Yeah, Florida has the sunshine laws where everything is fucking public.
Sunshine laws.
It was mad easy to get this shit. I didn't even have to leave, my apartment.
Boston Richie, finesse 2 times. Like, these people have great careers. So
you're saying there's paperwork on them?
There's paperwork on them, according to him. I haven't verified it myself, but he was. What's that?
According to him.
According to him, but he's actually saying, here's how you can look it up yourself.
Okay. I mean, did you look it up?
I did not look it up.
Okay, but you're here repeating.
I am here repeating what he said.
What he said.
Yeah, but
that to me
legit.
is a violation, because there's 2 things that I can't put on somebody without seeing actual evidence, and that's snitching and all the backdoor play. I can't accuse anybody of none of this shit or put that tag on them or even mention their name in the same sentence or something like that because I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's something that I grew up not playing with. Like, you don't play with that shit.
Cuba.
Okay, so now this clip is going to be a clip from No Jumper where Adam's like interviewing this guy, and basically he's saying like there was stuff that came out about the fact that he like told, but like everyone's definition of snitching is different. So some people are like he snitched, some people are like no, he like lied. like some people are like he didn't like fully say names, this and that, but the fact that like sometimes he's like even talking to them in certain situations is snitching. So that's why he's like just saying like, you know, if you snitch, just be like, you know what, just own it, like how 6ix9ine did, like own the snitching. Like I don't know.
The one when you were telling.
So what do you think he told on? Are you talking about the broken window thing that he told the cops that it was somebody else?
He gave statements. They got it. They're going to run a room on him tomorrow. You know, I got a little research team over there on Clubhouse. They put it all together. They run a room. But he gave statements. So I'm like, look, I think if he told, he should just say, listen, I'm king rat, and one rat knows a rat. And people will respect that. He like, I'm exposing rats. So then he takes away the attack.
Who do you think he told on?
What you mean? The gentleman in the paperwork.
He said that there was a statement in his paperwork that his co-defendant gave, right?
No.
Not him.
No, him. His name.
I
They're going to pull it up.
I'll have to listen to the room.
But, and then I found out, I didn't know he was like a white boy blood guy.
And that, see, you love to go against your own kind, right? Not that you're white,
not my
but
kind. I mean, what do you mean?
But you both waving the same flag, right?
No.
I came in wearing my red today. You like that?
Anything outside of the West Coast,
yeah, you don't fuck with it?
I don't, because they, it's different.
Some 1090 Jake stuff. This is kind of interesting, man. You know, obviously, 1090 Jake is my boy. I like 1090 Jake. I don't give a fuck if he snitched or not. But here's a conversation that's kind of happening, like, so profoundly, where it looks like the streets are finally rebelling against 1090 Jake. It's kind of crazy. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I never seen this coming. But the streets have realized that 1090 Jake's power is so much that if they don't respond to him with force or with something that could take away his credibility, he's probably going to operate with impunity. And also at that point, like, look, like these guys' careers are hanging in the balance, right?
Problem, right? So I asked Jake, did you name drop dude? He said yes. I've been going back and forth about it because, you know, you got victim reports, snitch. Incident reports, snitch. Witness statement, snitch. Grievances, you got jail versus street politics. A lot of people that's jail politic-wise say Jake not a rat. A lot of people that work on the streets say Jake not a rat. All the street niggas say Jake is a rat. Now, this is my problem on the definition of what a rat is, because Jake has a different definition than me, and like y'all know, Jake's definition ain't my definition. His definition is if you say anything to the police, cooperate with them in any way, you're a snitch. I've done numerous live streams where y'all came in my live and y'all told me, but Jake said dude was a snitch. And I said, I don't care what Jake said. I have a different definition of Jake. Now, I told Jake about this. Your definition of a snitch gonna bite you in your ass one day, bruh. Now, this is not the second time. So academics called me out and he basically said, you know what? I feel like King AK-47 want to say Jake a snitch, but he dancing around it, trying to figure out a way, you know, to not call him a snitch. And I would go in on academics, but academics was absolutely right, man.
Thank you, brother.
Jake standard, I don't even have to make a decision anymore. Jake made it for me. He cooperated with the police. And in Jake's standards, he's a snitch. And it's not only once, this happened twice. You can't go around telling people if you make a statement to the police or corroborate with the police, you a snitch, and not talk about yourself, because HCOs and wardens, police figures, ain't they authority figures? Yes, they are. So if you gave them a statement, and in that statement, you basically validated the fact that, yeah, buddy hit me, that's snitching. I told Jake, I would have said, man, I got hit in my head. I don't remember who hit me. All I know is the injustice and the COs lied on me. That's what I would have said, bruh. But Jake did take that route. I don't believe, see, we have to reconstruct what snitching really is, man. I've told y'all multiple times, I don't believe street niggas can play the self-defense role. Hell no, man, the self-defense role is for bystanders. You see what I'm saying?
What?
People who really in self-defense. Man, when you in the streets and you gang banging, you know it's on site, just like on the person. So how you going by street rules, but then when you kill somebody, you running self-defense? Because self-defense, Lil Tim, Snitch, Gucci Mane.
What? Wait, no. Lil Tim's just... All right, nah. AK-47. What? Hold on, I gotta unmute. I need facts in here. Yo, I'm only unmuting because I need facts to chime in. Facts. Boomer ops, right? And y'all both been like, yo, when I see that nigga, I'm gonna kill him. Say, okay, Boom sees you and you see him, and Boom start firing on you. Now, technically, if he don't kill you and you pull out your gun and kill him, it is self-defense. He started with you. He started firing. But y'all have the agreement that we street niggas, when we see each other, it's on site. We're firing, whatever. Is he right that self-defense is snitching?
I don't think that self-defense is snitching. I think self-defense is self-defense. Like, we can't say self-defense is snitching. It doesn't even make sense.
Facts. Oh, I got you.
Cherry was that, you know, when you look into his jail records, you know, bro said he was locked up for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? He did 3 years in Florida State Prison. But then when you read his interview with This Is 50, he also kind of talks about being like in a youth facility first, and then like some wild shit happening, and then like getting sent to the real jail. So it's funny that when you look online at his jail records, they actually leave out all of the stuff that happened at the first place he went, which was Lancaster. It would seem like an adult prison, but it's mainly for like juvenile offenders, 17, 18, like first time. That's like the area where most of them go for their first crime. And they, you know, you can't find any information about bro at that facility. They only tell you about the facility that he ended up being released from in 2015. So, you know, I just thought that was, you know what I'm saying, a little funny right there. You know what I mean? It's always certain shit that you see get left out. And I always be paying attention to like, what aren't they talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because that's usually the shit that they don't want people to know. While incarcerated in Lancaster, there were rumors for the first time of Cherry snitching on inmates in his unit. Some believe 1090 Jake snitched on a man after sustaining serious injuries in a jail gang fight. Seemingly to corroborate this story, a man who goes by the name Cherry Smasher on Instagram now has a page dedicated to outing Jake as a snitch. This man claims Cherry was transferred to Appalachia from Lancaster after giving info on him and other inmates to investigators. Now, to remain transparent, this man's claims have yet to be substantiated with paperwork. However, in 1090 Jake's interview from This Is 50, he recounts serving time first in a youth prison, which Lancaster is. He also details being slashed, stabbed, and having his head split with a brick, all within the first year, during his time at Lancaster. In that same interview, he also admits he was transferred to a different prison after a massive gang bust, for which he was associated with a blood set while in the Lancaster youth facility. He admits to all of that stuff. To kind of go with the story, he said he slashed somebody's throat. He was never given additional time. I know he got like videos where he like showing all his disciplinary reports, like all the times he got in trouble, got in fights when he was in jail. Sometimes that shit equal more time. If it's serious enough, they literally will give you more time, whether it's assault, whether it's attempt murder, they'll add that shit on and you would end up doing more time. He never did more time. He got out the same day that he knew he was gonna get out, the day he went in. So in January 2020, soon after the start of his YouTube channel, Jacob did an interview on a local news broadcast where he gave details on inmates acquiring illegal goods and how common it was in prison. Many in the hip hop community believe this interview alone was enough to label 1090 Jake a snitch. This would have now been the second time Jacob Cherry was called out for speaking with authorities on the inner workings of the Florida prison system. And while early critics were quick to post clips, Jake's viewers stood behind him and claimed he was only being a journalist.
So yeah, it's kind of iffy like about like the snitching there, because it's like allegedly, I'm not sure, it's like he put light on the situation on the news, right? So obviously they're gonna look more into it because they were like smuggling stuff. I don't know, like he kind of like showed the ins and outs of what they were doing there, right? So obviously that gives like the guards a heads up and everybody there on the news, right? It's on the news, so obviously they're gonna be like watching closely, and like now they know how they were doing it. So that was kind of considered snitching because he is out now. But it depends how you look at it, because obviously he's not like gang banging anymore. He's a YouTuber now, like YouTuber, so he's like, you know, not in that life. But like it really just depends if he claims that he's in that life or not. So people are like two-sided. He's like, okay, like he's out now, like he's changed, this is not like that anymore. So but like from like gang perspective and like street life, once you're in, right? But now he's gone out, he's making money, he's good. So it's just kind of like how you view it, and also what snitching is to you too. Sometimes it's only like if you're snitching on an op, like if you're snitching to get out of jail time, like so many different factors. But that's why he's being canceled or looked at and canceled by some people, because he's calling out snitches when people are trying to, like, he's getting so big that people had to go and look back through his stuff just to try and get something on him, right? So yeah, those two incidents are kind of like but this one is like really crazy because actually people got kind of arrested from the description that he gave. So this one is kind of crazy. So it's 3 different accounts of basically him snitching, and this was in like 2012. So yeah, just listen and see what you think.
On March 23rd, 2012, 7 months before he would be convicted for having a weapon and a possible burglary, police responded to shots fired at a residence on 8314 North Fremont Avenue in Tampa, Florida. At the time, it was the residence of a 17-year-old Jacob Cherry. Cherry had called the cops after 2 teens shot an airsoft pistol through his home's windows. Responding police were unable to apprehend the suspects at the time, but with the description 1090J gave, the 2 suspects were eventually found and arrested. The teens claimed they were playing a prank on someone that they knew and had no intention of doing harm. Statements of 17-year-old Jacob Cherry were refuted. In fact, 1090 Jake told police officers he had never met the man he seen shoot through his home. All of this being verified through a number of documents filed by Tampa police regarding the 2012 incident. Jacob Cherry was the victim and only witness to this crime. 7 months later, he himself will be convicted of gun charges and sent to that youth prison in Lancaster. In the hip-hop culture, we've always accepted people who wanted to be a part of it, regardless of where they were from. For those reasons, a guy like 1090 Jake was able to amass hundreds of thousands of fans who related to his jail stories and began to consider him somewhat of an authority on street politics. His business of outing rappers and taking payments to clear others has in recent years become very lucrative. 1090 Jake can now be regularly seen on social media going back and forth with rappers, taking pictures with his entourage, and flexing money and jewelry, seemingly living the life of the gangsters he once dreamed to be like. However, 1090 Jake himself is much like the men he now gets paid to expose. His popularity mixed with a shaky street resume raised suspicions of his character, and now after investigating his past more closely, it could be said that he himself has his name on paperwork helping multiple police investigations.
So yeah, you guys, in conclusion, he basically just got really, really big, and people really like take what his word is serious, like about snitching and everything, that they basically had to look back in his past and be like, no, this guy can't be credible, this and that, like, he's getting too big, he's getting too powerful, like, we're gonna get him on something. So they brought up these. They were so long ago, like, he's made a name for himself, like, you know, people are still gonna watch his videos. He's not going anywhere. 900,000 subscribers. Like, his videos are interesting as fuck. The only thing, like, he could just do is he could literally just be like 6ix9ine or be like academics and be like, you know what, I'm not a part of the street life anymore. I'm not a part of the gang life. Like, you know, people just want him to own it. Like, basically, if you own your snitch, they can't use it against you. That's what that other guy was saying. Like, if he's just like, yeah, like, I did snitch, like, this and that, but just like the fact, you know, that he claims that he, you know, he doesn't fuck with snitching, this and that. He claims it. So, therefore, you got to be about it. But to me, like, I mean, how people view it is like the person pointing out the snitch is a snitch, right? Is that the point? The person pointing out a snitch is a snitch. So, I don't know, y'all. It's up to you. What y'all think about that? Like, obviously, he's still gonna do his thing. He's still making money. Like, it's too late. It's too late. It's not like he snitched recently. He's out of that life. Like, I don't think. I mean, I don't know the guy, but I mean, like, if you're making good money on YouTube and everything, like, why would you go back to that life, right? Like, if you make it out, like, that's what the rappers' first mistakes are. They make it out, but they try and, like, entangle it. And you got a lot of money, but you're sitting in jail or you're sitting on house arrest. Like, it's pointless. Once you get the money, get out. And that's it. That's that. Otherwise, the boy's still popping. He's still doing his thing. So, I mean, the people can call him a snitch all he wants. He's still gonna get that bread and, you know, still search through that paperwork. So, they just pulled a him on him. They're like, let's look through your paperwork. Then they really saw. So, it's just kind of funny. So, yeah, that's the tea on that. That's the drama on that. And that's why he's getting talked about right now, is because it's all coming out because he's getting so big. And that's what happens when you get so big, y'all. Once you get to a certain point, then they got to look back on your past and be like, nah. Then they're going to be looking at you. That's just how the game is. So, you already know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.